Hi friends, welcome back to Anna Nail School English channel. I hope everybody is doing really well. So today's video I'm going to show you how to do polygel nails over tips. So there are many ways to do polygel nails, but today I'm going to do the standard way, like attaching a tip and then reshaping it and then adding polygel as the structure building product. Okay, so let's begin with the video. But before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also don't forget to like this video. So this is a regular client of mine. She used to come to me like almost all the times, but unfortunately for the past 2 appointments I was unavailable, so she went to a different technician, and as you know, something bad happened. Some of her nails are like really damaged, but however we decided we will go with a fresh extension. So there were a little bit of leftover product on her nails which we removed, and then we started with our dry manicure. Okay, so for dry manicure we need to start pushing back the cuticle. So for that I'm using an orange wood stick and I'm gently pushing the cuticle back. So when you push back the cuticle, basically we are opening up the cuticle pockets, and then we will use a hand file or an e-file to file and remove any dead skin around that area. So this is a mandatory step for all kinds of product application. In case if you fail to do this the right way, that's when we will have liftings or nails will fall off. Okay, so just make sure you are doing a really nice job with your dry manicure. So coming back to the nail situation, normally for this client I used to do polygel overlays because she has like really beautiful long nails and really healthy nails. So she just wanted to maintain her natural nails. All we used to do was like add polygel overlay only. But unfortunately, since she went to a different technician and the work was not that great, and because of that she had a lot of damage on her natural nails. So as you can see, her left nails are like totally damaged. The right ones are like really fine, but the left ones are a little bit damaged. So we worked a little bit more carefully on the left hand. So this time we decided we'll go with extension. So this is like a college going girl, so she said she can't have like really long nails because she's gonna go to her hostel, and then she's not sure when she's gonna come back. So it's not that easy to do a refill or like get it removed. So we decided we'll go with the small one so that she can manage it. So now that we have finished pushing back the cuticle, I switched to my electric file. So I'm using a diamond bit here, and I'm using my machine at an 18,000 rpm speed, and the machine is on a reverse mode. So I have explained this a lot of time in my videos. So whenever I do from the left to the right side, I use the reverse mode, and when I do from the right to the left, then I switch to forward mode. So here I'm going on with all the right side of the nail. So normally I just finish one hand both the sides and then go to the next one. So for this particular video I decided I'll start with one side, finish for all the nails, and then I do the other way around. Okay, so whenever we are using an electric file, just make sure you are doing it right. If not, we'll end up with a ring of fire or more like nail damages. So I was being very careful, and if you see, the bit I'm using is a red abrasive mark. It's not too hard. She's like a regular person to get nails done, so she doesn't have like too much of a cuticle here to remove. But still I was being very careful because we already had like a sensitive nail plate here, so we were like really careful. So let's just finish this first and then we go for the next step. After the e-file, I switched to a hand file just to buff off the shine from the nail plate. I'm using a 100-180 grit hand file here. So in case if your clients has like more damaged nails, then you may want to use a 220 or 240 nails. But here on the right hand, the nails were pretty okay, so we used a 100-180 grit, and I'm not putting any pressure. I'm just letting the file touch the surface so that I have like a matte finished surface. That's it. I'm not putting any kind of pressure. If you put extra pressure, that's when you are going to overfile the nail plate. The more you file, the thinner the nails become, and then they will have like kind of a sensitive nail bed for the next couple of days. So after getting your extension, in case if you feel like kind of pain or uneasiness, which means either you have a little bit of allergy to the products, or your nail plates are filed really thin, so that's when you feel it. Okay, otherwise you will not feel anything after your service. So here I'm using a lint-free wipe and alcohol to kind of wipe off all the dust and moisture from the nail plate. And once that is done, then I'm going to use the tips to measure here. So I'm using a deep C-curved square shaped tips here. So I'm going to measure all the right tips for her nails. So she has like a little bit of a convex type nail, not too much, but a little bit of a convex type nail. So normally we use a foam, but today we decided we will go with a tip application. So here I'm measuring the tips. So whenever we are measuring the tips, just make sure that the tip fits from side to side and there is no gap between your tip and your nail plate, and just make sure your glue is like really nicely attached to the nail plate. After picking up all the right size tips, I used a glue here. So the glue I'm using is from the brand called Ranara. So I'm applying the glue on the underside of the tip and then I'm going to attach it. So when you attach the tip, just make sure the tip is straight and it's covering side to side, and also there is no air bubble or gap in between your nail plate and the tip. Okay, so you just need to hold it for like 3-4 seconds. If you have a good quality glue, then 3-4 seconds is enough. For some glue it might take a few more seconds, and then this is how your nail should look like. From the side angle it should be straight, and then the top angle, when you look at it, all the corners should be covered. Both the corners of your nail should be covered. And after this we decided to trim down the length a bit. So even though she said she wanted small nails, I thought she's gonna keep at least this one, but after cutting the length she decided no, this is again too much, even though it looked really nice because she has like really long thin fingers. So the long nails will look really good on her, but obviously end of the day, as I said, it's gonna be like a little difficult when you are on your own, especially in the hostel. So even though I cut it this length, later we decided it's too much, she won't be able to handle it. I only shaped one nail so that we can decide on the length. And after shaping, because when we reshape it into almond, the length goes down a little bit more. Okay, so that's when I changed one nail into almond, and then we checked, and then the client was like, okay, this is not gonna work, we need more smaller nails, and that's when we decided to chop them more down. Okay, so here is a tip. If you want to cut an almond nails, you can use a nail cutter. Just pick the center of the tip and then make 2 cuts on the sides, so you get a rough almond shape, and then you can use your hand file to just fine tune it. And this is the easiest way. I know almond shape is very challenging for a lot of people. Even for myself, I need like extra 5 or 10 minutes when I'm doing an almond nail, because that thing is like never a satisfactory finish, because every time I look at it I feel like, okay, maybe I can do a little bit more fine tuning, and that fine tuning like goes for a longer time. Okay, so here using the same hand file, I'm reshaping it. So whenever I reshape the almond nails, unless I have to cut down the length, I will be very gentle with my file. I'm roughly touching it and just buffing it around the corners and like giving it like a normal finish. So this was the first kind of length we decided to keep, and I was just showing her how long it's gonna look like. And after seeing, she decided no, if you see, her nail bed is also decent long nail bed. So with the tip and all, it was looking more longer than what she wanted. So then we decided to chop them off. So if you see the next clip, you don't see this long, it will be more smaller nails. Okay, so here I'm just buffing and blending the edges, and also just gently buffing and removing the shine from the tip as well. So whenever we do extension, just make sure everything is like kind of matte finished. Okay, some people recommend not to file the tip, but if you have like acetone and alcohol mix, you can just use a lint free to kind of mattify the top of your tip. But I just gently buff it with my hand file. And after that I cleaned the nail plate, and I started applying dehydrator. As you all know, dehydrator basically helps to dehydrate the nail plate. And after dehydrator we add primer. I used acid free primer, and after that I also applied a thin layer of base coat. The base coat was cured for 30 seconds. The curing time may vary depending on which brand polish you are using or which lamp you are using. So mine works with 30-second timing. And after that I picked up a bead from the polygel tube using the spatula. And when I was releasing the bead, I realized it was too much for that tiny finger. So I took off the extra from the nail bed, and then I'm going to start applying the product. So here I'm using a Kolinsky number 10 brush. I personally prefer these kinds of brushes for the application, just like the way I do with acrylic. So it's very easy actually. If you know how to do acrylic, then it's very easy for you to do polygel extensions just like this. More or less acrylic and polygel has the similar kind of behavior when we put it on the nail. And in the brush I'm using slip solution. In case if you don't have the slip solution, you can also use alcohol. So basically you dip the brush in the alcohol, but don't leave too much liquid in the brush. Dry it up, and you just need it like a little wet so that the product doesn't stick to your brush. And the product that I'm using is from the brand called Shills. So this polygel is not that sticky, so it's very easy to actually work with. If you're a beginner and if you're from India, I recommend you can buy and use Shills polygel for extensions. It's easy to work with, especially for beginners. Okay, so here I'm building the structure, and I'm just making sure the product is equally distributed across the nail plate. I'm also building the apex and all. And when I reached the free edge, I realized that the product is a little too much again. So I used my orange wood stick to take off that excess, and I placed it on the other nail, and then we can use that product to build this next nail. And then now coming back again to the same nail and brushing off that product towards the free edge, and then we are going to send it for curing. Just take your time when applying the product. I always tell my students, just take your time to learn how to apply the product, so that you don't have to do too much work after curing the product. So filing and shaping, that is a tiring job. So just learn how to apply the product nice and smooth, so that you can save some time in filing and shaping. Now we have completed product application on all the fingers. So here I am using lint free wipe and alcohol to remove the tacky layer or inhibition layer from the top of the extensions. In case if you are using a foam, I recommend you wipe the underneath side of the nails as well. Since we use tips here, we don't have to clean the bottom side of the nail. And after this I'm going to just quickly do a filing and shaping. So as I said, since we did the product application nice and smooth, we don't have to really file too much. We just have to buff and make sure we have like a crisp and smooth base before we start with the gel polish application. So while we were doing this, we were kind of debating we should keep the same color as it is, because the client she loves nude color. So she prefer nude color. So then we decided the color is good, but I have this nail polish, gel polish set from the brand called Canny, the HEMA free nail polishes, and they have like really beautiful jelly colors, that to nude colors. So we decided we'll try one, and this is the color I swatched for her, and she was really happy with the color. So we decided we'll go with one layer, because the base is already opaque and it has a nude pinkish base. So on top of it, this was looking really beautiful with just one layer. Okay, we did not go for multiple layer, we only added one layer, and it was looking so pretty. So we decided to leave it as it is. And after applying gel polish on all the nails, we cured it for 60 seconds on the lamp, and then we decided to we applied a no wipe top coat, and we sealed the nails, and we cured it for again another 60 seconds. So she did not want any designs or anything on top of it. She just wanted to have like really plain nude nails. So she was really happy with the final result, and this is how it looks, like cute like buttons. So they look so pretty, and she was very happy and I was very happy, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon on my next video. Until then, stay safe, stay happy. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.